at the NASTC conference learning about diesel fuel additive by Clean Air Fleet.
So here I am at the NASTC conference in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. NASTC stands for the National Association of Small Trucking Companies. And well, this is an awesome organization, and I'm super excited to be here and be a member of NASTC. The reason I came to Nashville from Atlanta was to answer a question that I get asked a lot. And that question is, hey James, what do you think of fuel additives? And my answer to that is, I don't know. I'm sure there's good ones, I'm sure there's bad ones, but somebody who watches on TikTok, his name is Clint and Kurt, and he's got a Freightliner with a Cummins engine, and he actually contacted me and said, look, I have over 450,000 miles on my truck and have never even had to do a parked regen. Is that a problem? I'm like, oh my God, it's a problem for me because I'm not making money off of cleaning your DPFs, but you must be doing something right. Tell me more about that. And he did. So not only is he doing a fuel additive, he's also using the right motor oil, full synthetic from AMSOIL, by the way, but he is actually using a fuel additive by a company out of La Crosse, Wisconsin called Clean Air Fleet. And I'm here talking to these guys, actually packing up their booth. I'm going to catch them before they go. Clint and Kurt, and I'm going to learn a little bit more about it, and so are you. So this is Kurt. So we're going to look at the fuel additive part of it, and one of the things that I always talk about with fuel additive is, it's not just important to get good additive, it's to have a system in place to allow you to use it reliably and accurately, and that's what's so interesting here.
How are you doing today?
So what do we got here?
Well, this is our patented technology we developed about 15 years ago. It's our Clean Air Fleet fuel additive dispensing unit called the doser tank. And what it does, it mounts on the back of the cab, and this enables the driver to use the additive product more accurately and more safely without spilling it in his cab or getting it all over his truck.
We're not wasting it, too.
Not wasting it. Much more accurate, much more safety compliant. Drivers are more likely to do it properly. So the reason we developed it was about 15 years ago. We had a fleet, about 40 trucks, Kenworths from the Cummins, and they were liking what they were seeing. The driver came back one Friday night, he took the bottle, he chucked it across the shop, and he was cussing up a storm. He said, hey, I'm done, I'm never using this additive again. And the reason why was he spilled the gallon of additive in his truck, and that was it, he was over. He was done. They said, well, if you guys can come up with a system to bolt to the back of the cab to dispense it, we'll keep using it. So we went to the drawing board, and that's when we came up with this. It's patented technology, made in America. We make it in our state-of-the-art facilities where we have robotic welders and powder coaters, and that's it.
The big question is, and I know the answer to this because I actually heard it from one of the drivers that uses it. Does it work? And what do you get when you actually have the additive?
Well, the main thing is what we're seeing is 30% or more reduced soot content in the exhaust stream and 40% reduced NOx emissions. So our game plan is reducing the reducing the emissions in the combustion chamber before it ever gets to the aftertreatment. That's the whole premise behind it.
And which means that somebody uses this would have to come see me less often, which is a good thing.
Right, it's
for
a
them,
good
right?
thing. Because at the end of the day, less downtime means more money in your pocket.
Yeah.
So,
awesome.
it's this. We have this. The drivers are much more compliant. It's easy to use. It's gravity feed. There's no pumps or moving parts. There's no electrical connections. And then we do have an upgrade for this too. We can make it a smart doser and hook up electronics to it, which automatically treats it. And then we can verify how much additive is getting used according to the ratio to the diesel fuel. And then it's actually quantified as a emission reducing technology.
Super cool.
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're taking your number 2 base diesel and we're turning it into a premium low emission diesel.
Better fuel economy, less, fewer times you got to get your DPF replaced or cleaned. It's all good stuff.
The number one issue is the quality of the spec of fuel in the United States. And a lot of these systems were developed in Europe to meet European emissions. They're using a 50 cetane fuel, 50, right? In the United States, we're seeing a 40 to 42 cetane. And the OEMs, they want to see a 45 cetane. You can't even get a 45 cetane at most pumps across the United States. So what we're doing is when you put our low emission diesel additive in, you're going to raise your cetane, you're going to raise lubricity. We have anti-gel in winter. We're going to keep the asphaltenes under control. We're going to keep water under control. So an all-in-one additive package is going to lower the emissions, going to give you increased fuel mileage, give you increased power, throttle response, smooth out the engine at idle, all the good positive things that's missing in today's fuel.
Cool. And then I'm going to talk to your brother about this other part that I learned about over here. Mm-hmm. So this is Clint here, and one thing that I didn't realize is not only is it the additive, but also the ability to properly filter the fuel and the oil. So there are two other products you have here that I wanted to learn more about as well.
Absolutely. The OEMs have spin-on filters, full flow filters. 30 micron is the max that they can go to because the oil is flowing at a fast flow rate. We go down to 1 micron on the oil and the fuel. By removing those contaminants, we reduce the wear 80 to 90% inside the engine. Your after-treatment system is also affected from dirty oil and dirty fuel. And we quantified that through oil sampling and seeing the results on the differential pressure on a DPF.
Okay.
And we see oil samples come in daily through thousands of customers through the 20 years we've been in business. And that has a huge effect on your after-treatment system.
And then filtering the fuel as well is a wise thing. Okay.
It's important because the cleanliness specs for diesel fuel in the United States is still dating back to 1957.
Holy cow, okay.
It's way out of date. We have common rail engines pushing 30,000 psi, and we have any little bit of contamination that's in the fuel have a wreak havoc on that system. Injectors, fuel pumps, everything is very fine tolerances within the 2 to 7 micron range. So those tolerances within inside the engine are that small. The OEMs don't have the filters or the capacity to do it. We do.
And so that it's not just the additive, and it's not just the filtration, but you use them all together and get the results that you have seen consistently across the
synergistically,
okay.
it compounds the effect.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So there's some information on a fuel additive that I think is worth talking about. And I might regret this because to me, it sounds like if you use this on your truck, you will have to see us less often. But like I always say, we want to see you again, but not too soon. If you want to learn more about the fuel additive and the filtration and everything else along with me, give us a call or a text saying, tell me more about that fuel additive, 404-999-1361. And I will share any information that I have in the most honest and transparent way possible. And if there's a question you have that I can't answer, I will get the answer for you. Thanks for watching. And if you do have a dirty DPF, give us a call, 404-999-1361. And if you want to keep it clean longer, talk to me about a fuel additive from Clean Air Fleet, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching. Keep safe out there.